Hi students, good morning. Okay, I request everyone to write good morning in the chat box. Okay, cool. So, okay, those who have joined new, kindly write good morning in the chat box. I'll take it as an attendance. Okay, so we have done with the first module in the previous class. So it took around 2.5 lecture, I guess, to complete it. Okay, so properly a three lectures of 2 hours each. We started with the introduction of the syllabus and we completed the first module. Second module we is not that bigger. It's I guess I'll be able to complete it by next class itself. Today and next class, I guess it can be completed, and after that we'll do after that we'll do a kind of a case study, which will be helpful for you. Okay, those who are joining new, kindly write good morning in the chat box. I'll take it as an attendance. Okay, okay. So having said that, do you guys had anything to ask? Yesterday, I've shared the soft copy of the notes as well and the PPT as well. Anything you want to ask from that? Any doubts or whether? Well, one question you might be having is whether the notes are matlab, enough. The notes which I have made is from both the textbooks, which has been referred by the recommended by the VTO. So, from the books Jannat Shah and from the authors who have written the Jannat Shah and this Sunil Chopra and Peter something. Okay, so from there I have picked up all the points and have made the notes. Okay, it's not my notes in that case, but there are few yeah, changes in the sentences which I have done so that the sentences were quite tricky and quite very high in vocabulary sometimes. So I have made the sentence simpler for you to understand. Okay, so as all the people are in, I hope everyone has written good morning in the chat box. So by that I start with the second module. Okay, first module was everything regarding first module was everything regarding what the introduction of the supply chain, what supply chain means, how to what how to measure the performance of supply chain. What Acha, before starting, my voice is audible, right? And you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. Because last time it happened that I was speaking and uh, my voice wasn't audible. Okay, so first module was about supply chain, how to measure supply chain, what were the drivers of supply chain, which improve the performance of supply chain management and of a company, and what were the enablers, how the supply chain changed over time. Okay, what was the evolution starting from Ford and it went to Toyota, and how the Dell is capitalizing on the or improving the supply chain. And finally, we regularly had a discussion of Walmart or DMart. Okay, so how they excel in the supply chain. Then Flipkart and Amazon, based on the supply chain, they have their entire business. They have an online retail presence, and based on that, they are doing a supply chain, and the entire business process, or the entire business idea is based on that supply chain itself. Okay, in second module, we are okay. Just wait. Hmm. In second module, we are going to discuss regarding the outsourcing. Okay, so strategic outsourcing क्या है मतलब, whether the firm needs to buy things, whether the firm needs to manufacture things, what exactly the firm needs to do. Okay, which is the beneficial thing for a firm. Okay, so that we are going to discuss, and uh, what are the implications, what are the problems the firm will be facing, or what are the costs which are involved when the firm is outsourcing. Okay, outsourcing is what basically it means that a firm wants something. ठीक है, एक company है, they want certain components to be fitted for their product. So the company has an option whether they can manufacture each and everything of that product by themselves and assemble the product and give it to the customer, or else they can concentrate more on certain things, and the remaining things they can ask anyone else to produce it and supply them. So that act of telling anyone, any other company or any other factory from where I can make my components and take the delivery, that process will be called, we call it as outsourcing. Okay, you have many companies, like I have told you last time, you see on the back of the biscuits, see on the back of the chocolates or any grocery item. So the manufacturer will be someone else, and it will be written marketed, and or else, yeah, marketed by Hindustan Unilever or marketed by Marico or Dabur. Okay, but the manufacturer will be someone else. So they have outsources the manufacturing, these FMCG companies. Okay, so for that matter, many companies like automobile companies have outsourced the manufacturing of windshield and some non-essential parts uh, of the body of the car. Okay, so they are giving to someone else. So that is what outsourcing is, and why it is important, whether it should be done or it should not be done, that is about there in the second module. Okay, so before actually going into second module, okay, yeah, everyone is there, I guess. Okay, before actually going into that, I need your answers now. Okay, so let's see. You can mute, oh sorry, unmute your audio and can answer, or can answer in the chat box itself. Okay, yeah, you have seen this. What is this? It's written Netflix. What is Netflix?
Streaming service.
Yeah, it's an online streaming services. Perfect. So what we see here, we see movies, TV shows, and some of the documentaries as well. We see here. It's pretty much famous. Everyone at least in India knows it. Okay, it's not from India. It's from US, but it has presence throughout the world. Before, Netflix was such a small company. Okay, and it looked like this. It has a store. Okay, uh, they used to supply DVDs. Okay, initially they used to supply DVDs and on a rental basis. You remember when you were small? I don't know. In Belgaum it has no, but when we were very long, fine. Before internet got penetrated into Indian market, before internet came to each and every house, before mobile phones came into each and every house, we used to, when we want to see a movie, we used to go to a video parlor. Okay, they used to have many CDs, DVDs, and we used to borrow them. Okay, 30 rupees में for 4 hours या 5 hours के लिए, 50 rupees में 1 day के लिए. We used to go and borrow this DVDs and CDs, and we used to watch, come home, watch a movie in our DVD player, and then return them back. It was somewhat like that. Okay, and then from that 50 rupees, he used to give us 20 rupees back because we delivered that on time. And he used to take all our numbers and addresses so that if we run away, he can come to our house. So something like that was that. So Netflix was into that kind of a business. Okay, people didn't used to come over there. People used to book it online, and Netflix used to provide them the CDs or DVDs. Okay, even before that, there was a bigger player called as Blockbuster. ठीक है. I guess no one heard about it. Okay, Blockbuster, because it filed its bankruptcy long back. Okay, Blockbuster, before CDs and DVDs, we used to had that tape recorder जैसा. That means a cassette CD was there. In that cassette है ना, जैसे cassette you might be seeing, tape recorder था. You used to put a cassette, side A side B दो रहते थे. Then you used to play the song. Similar to that, we had a video tape recorder. Okay, VCR करके बोलते हैं. So VCR में we used to put that movie CD and used to see that. So before CDs came, we had a video tape recorders. Uh, so video tape recorder का जो CD था ना, the disc, नहीं sorry, what do we call it? The tape. Okay, it used to be pretty big. Okay, so that rental business was done by Blockbuster करके. So it was a firm who where people used to come to this firm because no online presence was there. It was started in 1987 somewhat. So in 1990s, they captured the market of video cassette CDs. So they used to give the people the what do you say, the tapes on rent, and after seeing the movie, they used to return back. Okay, so this Blockbuster was a huge player in the market, in American market, and after 1995, it expanded to many countries. So Netflix was just started its business in 1997, and it was such a small company that initially it failed and started making losses. So Netflix once approached Blockbuster, okay, so to sell their company. ठीक है, तो Blockbuster rejected it. Netflix, it doesn't have any good business plan. Okay, so we'll not buy it. So Blockbuster was such a great player that uh, it had presence of almost 3,400 stores throughout the world. इतना बड़ा player था. And in every local market, it used to have a different what do you say, the merchandising, मतलब different kinds of video cassettes, video tapes. They used to keep it in their languages and their taste. Okay, तो ऐसा सब था. So this was the player. But when the technology was improving, when CDs came, the Blockbuster didn't adopted it very well. ठीक है, ठीक है, सीरीज आ रहे हैं ना, देखते हैं हम लोग के वीडियो कैसेट्स, इट्स गोइंग फाइन. ओके, तो Netflix captured that, and it expanded its business into CDs and DVDs from 2000s. Okay, on transportation of CDs and DVDs, CDs क्या है, they are very tough, they don't break easily as compared to video cassettes. They were very fragile. एंड ब्लॉकबस्टर हैड अ लेट फी. जैसे हम, मेरे वीडियो पार्लर का था, 30 रुपीज का सीडी है, आई एम ब्रिंगिंग इट इन 50 रुपीज, एंड इफ आई रिटर्न द सीडी ऑन टाइम, ही विल गिव मी बैक 20 रुपीज because I have delivered it on time. So, but if I deliver it late, then there will be a late fees and 20 rupees he'll not return me back. So Blockbuster had that kind of a late fees. If you return the video cassette after a certain time, then you will be charged as a late fee. Okay, Netflix ऐसा कुछ नहीं. Whenever you want, you return us the CDs. So these were the things in which Netflix started capturing the market, and Blockbuster started losing the market. Blockbuster later on converted the video cassettes to CDs, no doubt, to CDs and DVDs, but they could not capture the market. And along with that, there was another video rental called as Redbox. You have seen like a machine where you put a coin and you get a chocolate, or you put a coin and you get a can of a cold drink. So similar machine was there. If you put a coin here, if you put a coin of a $1 coin, okay, uh, America में था, तो $1 coin if you put, you will have an option to select the disc, ठीक है, इसमें से movies में से anything will be available here, so you can select the movie and it will give it to you. Okay, and once you see the movie, you will put the CD back, and it's done. Oh, so $1 may you have seen the movie. So that was the another company named Redbox which came up with this idea. So because of this, Netflix and Redbox occupied the market, and Blockbuster lost its presence in the market. So this was a small story. Now I want you to answer from this Blockbuster, Netflix, and Redbox. Why Blockbuster failed? It failed क्यों हो गया? It had a huge presence, बहुत बड़ा था,
because
and
it didn't come up with a new technology by time.
yeah, it didn't adopted a new technology on time. Great, and that's the reason many other companies also failed. और एक reason था, Blockbuster didn't adopt technology. Along with that, when it adopted the technology, it didn't change basically the working style, वो जो late fees का था, and the supply chain which the Blockbuster had. Okay, so that didn't change. So that was also one of the reason which we call as a strategic fit. When they are adopting to some new technology, they should change their supply chain also, how they are supplying, how they are keeping customers happy. That was also important. Okay, so when company doesn't adopt to change, that happens. Okay, same way, one more small example of 2 minutes of yours I'll take. Kodak, Kodak करके camera था. Okay, we had that a huge camera. Okay, black color camera in which we used to hold a button, to pull a button in order to get a flash, and we used to click one photo, and एक बार photo निकाल दिया तो निकाल दिया. We could not delete that photo, nor we could see how the photo came. Okay, so that was a time when Kodak was the leader in the market. They only produced cameras, and they got profit because of the what do you say, the filming technology. ठीक है, वो फोटो आया तो we need to go to a photo shop, ठीक है, who will develop that photo, and that printed photo will be given to us. So that was the process need to be done. So the Kodak had that ability to develop those machines. So only Kodak knew how to develop those machines. So they had a kind of a monopoly in that. Yeah, सिर्फ Kodak को ही आता है कैसे develop करें, right? So when digital camera came into play, okay, when Sony launched its digital cameras, okay, and Canon, Nikon easily adopted it. Kodak took some time to adopt new technology, so that was the reason Kodak went out of the market. Now you don't have Kodak cameras that bigger market share. You only have 5% Kodak cameras, digital cameras, heavy Kodak digital cameras. They're just 5% in the market. You only find Canon or Nikon or huge cameras, or sleek cameras of Sony, digital cameras. So when that is happening, companies should immediately adopt, and should immediately change the entire thing, entire supply chain, also entire working and entire human resource, everything. Okay, so this is what a small story was about. Okay, now your second module is concerned with outsourcing. So again, uh, yeah, who is he?
Virat Kohli.
Yeah, great. I'm not interested in Virat Kohli here. I'm interested in his bat, because that is the reason it makes runs. He makes runs. Yeah. What is the symbol on his bat? ये जो tick mark है क्या है? Any resemblance with anything? This tick mark. whether this company manufactures bat, ये जो company है जिसने tick mark डाला है इधर, whether they manufacture bat?
No.
No, right. It is Nike. Nike's symbol. Okay, Nike have seen what they manufacture. They manufacture shoes. Okay, and I love Nike shoes. Reebok से ज़्यादा Nike पसंद है because they have certain softness, and the weight of the Nike shoes is very less, so you don't feel you are wearing a shoe. Okay, so we love Nike shoes, and Nike, being a shoe brand, is not endorsing Virat Kohli's shoes, but it has a sticker on Virat Kohli's bat. Okay, I remember in my childhood days that uh, we used to had MRF bat. Okay, Sachin, because Sachin used to have that MRF का logo on his bat. तो MRF का bat का बहुत demand था तभी. We didn't realize कि what is the basically full form of the MRF, what the MRF company manufactures or what they do. But the MRF logo was such fed into our mind that MRF is a, I don't know which company, but it got famous because Sachin was using it. But later on we realized कि MRF का full form है Madras Rubber Factory, and they manufacture rubbers and basically tires. Okay, so and again about Nike. Okay, I was telling ये थोड़ा leakage हो गया. About Nike, I was telling Nike is a shoe company, right? Okay, the manufacturing of Nike shoes, Nike doesn't do. The manufacturing of Nike is given to subcontractors who are in Taiwan, Thailand, all those Eastern countries, and the manufacturing plants are somewhere in Indonesia, in Philippines, and everywhere. So Nike basically doesn't do manufacturing at all. Okay. Also, Nike doesn't sell the shoes. Also, Nike has given the franchisee. Okay, that means you and I can take a franchisee from Nike by paying some royalty, by paying some deposit, and paying for selling of each shoe kind of a royalty, or running a shop for every month we'll be paying a royalty fees. मतलब कुछ पैसा देंगे हम लोग बस कि we are setting up a Nike showroom, and we are keeping Nike shoes. So for that we'll be paying some money to Nike. So Nike doesn't manufacture it. It doesn't have any manufacturing plant. It doesn't sell its good. Okay, but Nike shoes है. तो Nike exactly करता क्या है? Nike designs and do a brand management. The designing of the shoe and the management of the brand, the advertising, the customer relationship, all those things only Nike does. The manufacturing and selling is totally been outsourced. Okay, so this is how an outsourcing. So Nike is, you will never find a office of Nike. It's a kind of a virtual company. ये किधर है पता नहीं. Nike के हेड से मिलना है तो you need to go to UK. Okay, it will not have any presence anywhere in the world, but it will have shoes everywhere in the world. Okay, so that's the reason the what is outsourcing is. So the company Nike is not interested in manufacturing anything or selling its product. They are more interested in designing their products. Okay, they are only focusing on designing. Manufacturing क्या है, इतना important काम नहीं है, बहुत important काम है, but it can be done by anyone else. जैसे when we were bit small, mummy used to tell us कि वो थोड़ा 10 मिनट के कुकर 2 सीटी के बाद बंद करो, या फिर after 10 minutes you put off the gas. ठीक है, that is important, right? If we don't put off the gas, the food will get burnt. But that is the thing that someone else can do. So mummy has outsourced that, what you say, the switching off the gas to us. Okay, and she concentrated more on what cooking she was doing. Okay, and कभी कभी ये भी मिलता था, थोड़ा टमाटर काट के दे, थोड़ा प्याज काट के दे, फ्रिज में से ये निकाल के दे. Okay, so all those things that was getting outsourced to us by our moms. Okay, so she was concentrating on how much ingredients to be put in the food. Okay, while making the food, what ingredients need to be put, how much it need to be put, and उसका जो बाकी का जो भी है खाना बनाने का. Okay, I don't know how to cook nothing, so I don't know. जो भी बेसिकली खाना बनाने की चीज है, that she used to concentrate. Rest all things we used to help her. So she was outsourcing. So Nike also is doing like that, and many companies do like that. So in the companies, they decide whether to make it or whether to buy it from someone else. Okay, if there is a car manufacturing company, okay, the car manufacturing company doesn't manufacture tires. They they buy it from someone else. They don't manufacture the windshields and the other headlights and everything. They give it to someone else based on their specification. They will manufacture, and the company will take delivery from them. So the company is deciding the decision of a firm to perform its activities internally or get those activities done from an independent firm. So whether we should make it or whether we should outsource it. Okay, so that the company is deciding. Okay, you have many companies in India also. Uh, they are you call them as KPOs, BPOs also. BPOs the call center होते हैं. KPOs knowledge process outsourcing. Okay, so and for that matter, Acres is also an outsourced firm, and many firms in Belgaum who are into castings, okay, they are kind of also a kind of outsourced firm. So they manufacture, they export certain components to other companies, and those companies take the components from the Belgaum Ferrocast or Ashok Iron Works or from other companies, and they use those components in their main products. Okay, in their main products. So that is what is about outsourcing. And next slide, we decide how to make, whether to buy or whether to do it yourself. See, Ford Motors, we mentioned twice in all the three lectures, I guess. In Ford Motors, I have mentioned. Ford Motors was the manufacturing of what do you say, fuel efficient fuel cars. Okay, where Henry Ford controlled the operation from the scratch, from the extraction of iron ore, melting of iron, making it into steel plates or iron plates, and then making it into a car. So from everything, it had a vertically integrated approach. मतलब सब कुछ मैं ही own करूँगा. Right from extraction of iron ore till making of car, I'll own it. So in that case, there was nothing called as outsourcing. There was no outsourcing. Everything Henry Ford was doing it. Okay, he controlled the entire supply chain. But later on, as the evolution happened, you remember the car, Corolla car, where all the upper niche, every on the left and right and the top and the bottom, all the suppliers name were written. So these many suppliers were there just to manufacture one car. So that's the reason Toyota initially was able to assemble and get ready the Toyota Innova in just 16 to 18 minutes. That was their target. 16 minutes was the target. Okay, and maximum 18 minutes, one Toyota used to get assembled and can be delivered to the showroom. Okay, so that was there about Toyota. And also regarding the Dell computers, yes, so these examples will keep on, these companies' examples will keep on repeating because they have excelled in this field. And because of that, Toyota has developed something which every हम लोग के टेक्स्ट बुक्स में ही आया. Because of that, you don't have it in your syllabus right now, but there are many syllabus which is included as lean manufacturing, as just in time. Okay, this was developed by Toyota, and it is now incorporated in the textbooks. Okay, Toyota manufacturing system करके, TPS, Toyota production system करके. So ये सब, so this is the reason you will keep on getting these company examples. And Dell computers also था. Dell computers, they had customized their operations and they used to customize the product as per the customer requirement. ये भी था. Now Vodafone Idea, ये क्या है? Yeah, one of my friend works for a company named as Atos Origin. Okay, it is an IT company, but they work for billing of Vodafone and Idea. Vodafone and Idea is a cellular company, right? It's a telecom company. They just provide the network. Okay, so they are not interested in your billing. Billing is definitely an important point, important part, but they are not interested in billing. ये लोग क्या करते हैं, बिलिंग दे हैव आउटसोर्स्ड इट टू एटॉस ओरिजिन. So एटॉस ओरिजिन is doing all the IT, and they are मतलब checking what are the schemes, how the bill should be, how the bill should be generated, for which customers the bill is, who is spending, who is having prepaid, who is having postpaid. So what are the schemes running, how much it should, the bill should be generated. All those headaches Vodafone Idea has given to Atos Origin. So they have outsourced that billing portion. Similarly, another friend of mine works in an IT company, and he got a project to work and set up the IT system of the hotel. Okay, so there was a hotel which had three four other chains. Okay, it was a chain of hotels. They had three four other hotels, okay, in Noida itself. So he went there and he was developing the entire IT system of getting connected of all those three four hotels, and whether room is available, whether it has been booked online, or whether the customer has paid online, and whether it is reflecting in the system, checkout costs, everything he was taking care. So the hotel, uh, the concentration of hotel is just on the guest and their experience. Okay, not to break their head in developing the IT system. So that is the thing, they bought it from my friend's company. So similarly, Google Maps. Okay, Google Maps. Have you ever thought Google Maps, मतलब how they do it? And मतलब बेलगाम का एक normal street का भी information is there in Google Map. And nowadays real time information has also been installed. मतलब where the traffic is, you will have a red, ये कैसे, okay, ये सब भी है. And the image you can see, they are having a kind of a this, what do you say, called it augmented reality. That means either there is a station here, okay, somewhere here. Now in this it is showing in a real kind of a kind of a image, real time image ke idhar hai transit. Okay, here there is a hotel, here there is a restaurant, here there is a grocery store, ऐसा आगे जा रहा है, grocery stores इधर है. Okay, so it is showing real time. So how they developed it, whether Google, are they, मतलब Google employees run over here, हाँ इधर चल के देखते हैं, हाँ यहाँ पे कुछ नया खुला है, यहाँ पे कुछ नया खुला है, मतलब how do they get information? Can anyone guess how do they get information?
Feedback from the users, real time feedback.
Yeah, from us. They have outsourced the work to us. So they get real time feedback from us. We go to a shop, we go to a restaurant. Google will send a message to us. मतलब a mail will come, or a pop-up will come on the Google app itself, that how do you like the store? Does it have a number? Does it have an email ID? When does it close? Okay, what is the review? Any photos for that? So we are the providers of the information to the Google Maps. So Google is very intelligent in that case. So Google Map has outsourced all the information gathering to us, and we do it by just, I don't know, we do it free of cost for the Google, right? So this is what outsourcing is. And so Google is not taking the headache of entering into checking the information, trying to seek information. It has given all those headaches to us, and we ourselves are telling Google, okay, this is this is the photo, this is the review. Okay, so before that, yeah, before that, now when everything company is giving outside, so they need to focus on something. Okay, their core business. What I mean by core business, it doesn't mean core business doesn't mean any important business. ठीक है, कोर बिजनेस क्या, कोर प्रोसेस का मतलब इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, बिकॉज इम्पोर्टेंट तो सब कुछ है. Okay, for that matter, we after two whistles of the cooker, we need to put off the gas. Okay, that is important, otherwise the food will get burned. But that is not the core process of cooking. Cooking is when we are mixing certain items properly. That that is the core process. So company needs to identify exactly what is their core process. Like Nike identified their designing is the core process, not the manufacturing, right? Google identified the providing of that software in the mobile phone is their core process, not gathering of information. Gathering of information, we can leave it to the users. They'll do it. Vodafone Idea identified providing network services to the customer is our core process, not the billing. Billing is important thing, but it is not the core process. So wherever the company is, they need to identify the core process, and it is done in two ways. Okay, business process route and product architecture route. Okay, again important from the examination मतलब question. Okay, core process कौन सा है हम लोग का? To find out, we have two methods. तो बिजनेस का प्रोसेस कैसा है, हाउ द बिजनेस इज हैपनिंग, ये किधर किधर जा रहा है, इसमें से व्हाट इज आवर कोर प्रोसेस, और हाउ आवर प्रोडक्ट आर्किटेक्चर, हाउ आवर प्रोडक्ट इज, which things of our product is important for us to manufacture, and which of the different important things we can outsource it. Okay, before going to that, what is this? Have anyone played?
Video game, adventurous video game.
क्या बात है, एडवेंचरस. तो वीडियो गेम अभी तुम लोग ने ये भी नहीं खेला रहेगा. बहुत सारे मैं शायद बुढ़ा हो गया, मेरे को बहुत पहले की चीज़ें याद आ रही है. तो वी हैड अ वीडियो हैंड हेल्ड वीडियो गेम. मतलब एक वी यूज्ड टू हैव अ स्मॉल स्क्रीन. ठीक है, उस स्क्रीन का कोई कलर नहीं होता. Okay, one color screen was there, and 5-6 buttons were there. इधर जैसे joysticks पे है ना buttons, एक 3-4 buttons, 5-6 maximum buttons used to be there on that video game. And वो उसमें एक inbuilt 3 or 4 games used to be there, and we used to play it. Later on it evolved, and we could connect the video game. Nintendo करके there was a player. This is about Xbox. Okay, so one of the earlier video game companies, Nintendo, from China itself, Japan, China, दोनों जगह से. तो they used to manufacture video games where we can connect it to TV. तो TV पे हमको दिख रहा है that Mario was one of the famous games at that time. So Mario उधर जा रहा है, it is jumping, it is going there. ठीक है, it is that Mario पूरा गेम खत्म होने के बाद the Mario what do you say, किसके लिए, princess was there. Mario rescued the princess. Okay, somewhat like that. तो ऐसा सब था. Then later on Xbox came, and along with Xbox PlayStation came. Okay, I guess some of you might have played this. ठीक है, Xbox शायद नहीं खेला मैंने, PlayStation खेला है. Okay, Xbox, well, PlayStation is the company or is the product which is manufactured by Sony. Okay, Sony is the company which manufactures PlayStation. Xbox is the company which is manufactured by Microsoft. Microsoft, everyone has heard the name. अच्छा, what Microsoft does? Microsoft का business क्या है exactly? सुना हम लोग ने, कंप्यूटर के रिलेटेड है कुछ. Microsoft, this 4 windows, oh sorry, this 4 boxes you have seen, right? फिर whenever you switch on your computer, other than Apple किसके पास है तो उनको नहीं दिखेगा. Other than Apple, if you switch on a normal Lenovo laptop or a Acer laptop, you will find 4 boxes will be coming, and they'll be telling you Windows. Okay, so that is the software or the operating system, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 8, that is being manufactured by the company Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft also has the presence in video game industry using Xbox. So Microsoft is a software company, right? They don't wanted to invest in all this, ये joysticks बनाने के लिए, ये डब्बा बनाने के लिए. They didn't wanted to invest in all these things. Their main business is of software. So when Microsoft entered into this Xbox business, they didn't invested on the hardware. They only invested that time on making the software for this Xbox, and the hardware was manufactured by someone else called as Flextronic. Okay, you might have heard this. This even once came to your placements. ठीक है, Flextronic करके company. So Flextronic used to take care of all the hardware requirement of Xbox, and Microsoft only took care of the software requirement of the Xbox. Okay, so in this case, Microsoft realized their core process is software. Okay, now I will go as per that. Okay, the business process route. So in business process route, we have three things. Okay, first is customer relationship. Okay, customer relationship is we are finding new customers, नए customers ढूंढ रहे, company is catching hold of new customers, trying to maintain the old customers with us. You have seen, you have got messages from whenever you have given your number free of, you have basically your data free to any company. When you have gone to Big Bazaar or DMart, they ask you your number. Whenever you go to Apollo clinic, Apollo pharmacy, they ask you your number. Okay, or else normally maybe a book, Sapna book stall करके भी है इधर. So when you go there, they'll ask you your number. To Big Bazaar, they'll ask you your number. More outlet. Why they are asking your number is they want try to maintain a relationship with you. And if any offers, you'll get a message. And there are companies on your, they'll wish you on your birthday, happy birthday करके. मेरे को तो कॉल भी आता था महिंद्रा से, सर हैप्पी बर्थडे करके. अरे अभी तक मेरे फ्रेंड्स ने नहीं किया है, महिंद्रा से फोन आ गया मेरे को हैप्पी बर्थडे करके, बिकॉज दे आर ट्राइंग टू मेंटेन द रिलेशनशिप विद यू. Okay, so if company is doing that, and if company is doing only that, maintaining relationship, which is Nike is doing, it is trying to maintain the relationship. How it is maintaining the relationship? They are focusing on the design of the shoes, and they are designing in such a way that what the customer wants, and they are focusing on brand awareness. What is brand? ये नाइकी का जो सिंबल है, ये विराट कोहली के बैट पे भी रहना चाहिए, so that everyone should see this Nike symbol. This tick mark should resemble Nike. Okay, the company wants to feed in your brain that हाँ ये जो tick mark है, even if you get it on a answer paper, ये tick mark हाँ मेरे को Nike मिला करके. Okay, so that is the thing they want to register. ठीक है, when I was in the college days, or else I'll ask you, there is a tagline for this company, Thanda matlab, you remember? You know, Thanda matlab? Can anyone?
Coca-Cola.
Ha, great. So Coca-Cola, great, huh? You remember that. So Coca-Cola has fed into our mind कि ठंडा मतलब Coca-Cola ही आना चाहिए. So that's the reason they have created a customer perception, a brand image of their company into our minds. कि हाँ ठंडा मतलब Coca-Cola आना चाहिए, टिक मांग मतलब Nike याद आना चाहिए. So something like that. So they focus more on that customer relationship, brand image, brand building. Okay, all those things. ठीक है, they are least bothered about manufacturing, as I've told in the previous slides. ठीक है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग किधर, ताइवान में, थाईलैंड में, फिलीपींस में, then all those country take care of manufacturing of Nike shoes. Okay, and the selling of Nike shoes is done by the franchisee. Nike only concentrates on customer relationship. So their business process is the customer relationship, brand management, and design. Second one is product innovation. Product innovation is definitely by the company called as HP. HP manufactures laptops and computers. Okay, basically the hardwares. Okay, the software might be Microsoft itself. Okay, so HP is concentrating more on its innovation of the product, to build lighter laptops, to build high performance laptops, to build high performance everything, computers, laptops, and what are the components they are using, lightweight, what do you say, the motherboard, the chips, which they take it from Intel. So but the main concentration of HP is producing best quality and best performing laptop and computers. So they focus more on product innovation. They cannot give their manufacturing facility to someone else. No, they cannot give. They cannot do that. Okay, they focus more on improving their product quality, improving their product. So their business process will be focusing on product innovation, and the marketing of HP, the advertising of HP, the transportation of the laptops and computers will be outsourced. Okay, बाकी product innovation we will do. Nike ka bhi initially the manufacturing will be done by someone else, but the designing and brand awareness we will do. Okay, so for each of the company, the business process will be different. And for the third, supply chain management. Okay, can you give the example? Supply chain management, which company focuses on this? We have discussed those companies in the previous classes.
Amazon.
Yeah, excellent. Amazon, Flipkart, Walmart, DMart, More, Reliance Fresh, Big Bazaar, all these companies, what they do, they don't manufacture any product. The product innovation, there is no point of product innovation. Customer relationship, yeah, somewhat, but their entire business is based on, okay, is on supply chain. So Walmart, I should have put Amazon. Prajit, right? Who is answering?
Yes, sir, Prajit.
Rajat. So I should have put Amazon here, but Walmart, Amazon, they focus more on supply chain management. So they are least interested in product innovation, and very less might be customer relationship. Customer relationship may be only for sending messages on their WhatsApp. Messages on their mobile phones. Okay, that there is a offer, there is a discount, so they'll just have that customer relationship. They'll not ask the customer, you have bought the products, whether products are good or not. They'll not do that, because they, first of all, they it is not their products. Okay, so minimum of customer relationship, none of the product innovation, but their focus is only on supply chain. So based on business process, the company will decide which business is our core business, and the remaining they will try to outsource it. Okay, now the next one. Any doubts till here? Fine. Okay, this is the product architecture route. Don't worry, I don't want you to see this. Okay, read this. Okay, I have a product. Imagine a car. Okay, car will have tires, its body, its engine, the chassis, okay, the transmission system. Okay, all these things are there in a car. There will be one, just for example, Toyota is focusing more on what? More on engine, performance of engine, the chassis, the transmission. For example, a company like Tata. Okay, Tata is no longer, they don't have that excellence to manufacture engines. Their diesel engine technology was not very well developed. So if Tata could have started developing their own engines, then it would have been taken years together to come to this level, because they don't have that expertise, they don't have that research and development team to develop diesel engines. So what Tata decided, they'll buy diesel engines. Okay, they'll not make it, they'll buy it from Fiat, and Fiat has that excellence in manufacturing of diesel engines, and it was ready to give. So the basic thing of of a car, that is engine, Tata buys it from someone else. Even for that matter, Maruti also buys engines from Fiat. But Toyota focuses only on engines. They buy everything else apart from engines. So it doesn't mean that the core process था either product, whatever the product I'm having, वो product में the core thing will be one for one company and another thing for another company. Okay? That means in a car, the core thing for Toyota is engine, For Tata it cannot be engine because they don't know how to manufacture engine. So but the core thing will be different, maybe the chassis, the transmission and the advertisement and the brand awareness. Rest all things the Tata will take care. They will try to find out their core process, ठीक है, in which they are good at, जो हम लोग कर सकते हैं ना, that we will focus more on. ठीक है, when we do a group study, ठीक है, इंजीनियर्स तो करते ही है, तो हाँ, वी यूज्ड टू डू अ ग्रुप स्टडी. इन ग्रुप स्टडी देवर हमेशा ऐसे होता है, देर आर 1 or 2 people in our group study who are very good in calculations, in solving problems. They're very good into that. And there are 1 or 2 they are excellent in by hearting, रट्टा मारने में एक्सपर्ट रहते हैं. Okay, and like me, I'm किस में भी एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, ना रट्टा मार सकता हूँ अच्छे से, ना प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकता हूँ, बट बोथ आई एम pretty okay, not good at. So when we are doing a group study, the person who is excellent in problem solving, he will explain the problem to the remaining people, to the entire group. ठीक है, when it comes to theory part, the other person who is excellent in ratta marne ke, he'll tell you the tricks how to remember those things. Iska kaun sa ye point ka kuch first words ka we'll make a kind of a, what is it, जैसा रेनबो का है, RAINBOW. ओके, तो रेनबो का विब ग्योर करके याद रखना है. ओके, वायलेट, इंडिगो, ग्रीन, रेड करके, तो विब ग्योर करके याद रखेंगे. तो दैट वाज मेड बाय दैट वाज क्रिएटेड बाय द टीचर्स. सो वी विल क्रिएट some terminologies like that so that we can remember those answers. ठीक है, you might have also done that. तो ऐसे याद रखना है, इसको ऐसे पढ़ेंगे, तो he does all that thing. So when you're group study में, which is the core process, every subject is important, no doubt. To pass, you need to pass in every subject, but the person who is teaching, he is excellent into that. So in product architecture route, the company will decide what we are excellent into, what we can manufacture efficiently. So into that we will focus, and the remaining thing we'll give it to someone else. Okay, so this is what it is. When there is a product, okay, it will be divided into subsystems into different, जैसे car है, chassis, the chassis, what we call, the transmission system is one system, the manufacturing of that body, all this, where the high metal should be, where the low metal should be, aluminum का रहना चाहिए, fiber किधर रहना चाहिए, the body, that one, that is another thing. Okay, and the remaining components of the cars, that is another thing. So we are dividing the cars into different components. Okay, so that is a subsystem. If those components we find it strategic doesn't mean not important. They are important, but we are not good at, okay, or we don't want it to manufacture ourselves, so we'll outsource it. The remaining thing we will manufacture. From that, take for example, we are we are good in manufacturing body of the car. Okay, body and maybe the chassis of the car. Then we will segregate it. Body में से fiber components, how many are there? Metal components, how many are there? How many are steel components? How many are aluminum components? Okay, we'll segregate. We'll form a family, and from that family, can we do outsourcing? Is the family important? मतलब fiber manufacturing of those fiber parts is important. Then yes, we will manufacture. If it is not that important, we can outsource it. Then we'll outsource that as well. The body may be fiber components we have outsourced. Now we are left with only steel and aluminum components. From that, we will again try to find a partner. Okay, steel के लिए can we tie up with Tata Steel? Okay, for what do you say? For aluminum, can we tie up with Hindalco? Okay, so that they'll try to do that. Okay, if we can tie up with Hindalco for aluminum, then we'll outsource it by a partnership, and we'll only focus on producing the steel body. So we'll dismantle the product like this. Maybe this will help. Okay, this is the dismantled product of a mobile phone. So mobile phone maybe there is a body. Okay, there are different components, cameras hai, your flashes are there, and back covers hai, and okay, battery bhi hai. Okay, so there are different companies who manufacture, who excel into this. Batteries, no company manufactures their own batteries. Okay, it has been given to some another company itself. Okay, they'll just tell the specification, size, the what do you say, the different kind of arrangement which the battery needs to be put into a cell. Okay, so that they'll tell, and the battery will be manufactured by someone else. Okay, operating system, if it is not an Apple, then the operating system will be Android. The operating system will be purchased from Android. ठीक है, it's a Google company. तो अभी मोबाइल फोन में बचा ही क्या है? You have a body, and you have certain circuits in that circuitry, and the camera, and the speakers and all. These will be focused by the company. So they are dismantling the product, and then they are deciding which thing we are good at, and we'll adopt that. Okay, so by this we can, or a company can, identify which is the core process. Okay, you have understood that? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है, क्या प्रजित बाकी लोग आंसर ही नहीं कर रहे? ठीक है, तो आइडेंटिफाइंग द कोर प्रोसेस, व्हाई इट वाज इंपॉर्टेंट, कोर प्रोसेस आइडेंटिफाई करना ही क्यों है? बिकॉज what we need to manufacture and what we need to outsource, that we need to understand first. Okay, our mom will never give the ingredients to mix into the vegetable which she is making. We will never get that chance unless we become good in cooking, or we are trying to learn cooking. Okay, we'll never get that chance. Okay, but because that is the core process she has identified. So a company needs to identify which is their core process by these two methods, one of these two methods. When they identify the core process, only then they can decide what to outsource, how much to outsource. Okay, तो ये एक चीज हो गया. Then we have market versus hierarchy. इसमें क्या है? Market versus hierarchy is, in this, company is deciding whether the outsourcing is a good option, or we should manufacture it, or we should do both. दोनों करें. ठीक है, sometimes it happens, जैसे in-house manufacturing if we are doing, okay, we cannot get this economies of scale. Okay, this might be a new term for you. Economies of scale means, okay, consider one example. There is a luxury bus. Okay, that luxury bus is being booked by 10 people. Okay, we are going to a travel agent's shop. Okay, and 10 people have booked those luxury bus, and only 10 people are traveling from Belgaum to Bangalore. Okay, now that bus is carrying 10 people to Bangalore. It will have some fuel cost. उसमें डीजल लगेगा कुछ बेलगाम से बैंगलोर जाने के लिए. We are consuming some diesel for traveling. Suppose the same scenario, 30 people are booking the bus, and that bus is taking 30 people now from Belgaum to Bangalore. There will be again fuel consumption, but the fuel consumption in both the cases will be same. For 10 people to travel from in a one luxury bus to travel from Belgaum to Bangalore, and 30 people in the second case who are traveling from Belgaum to Bangalore in the same bus, the fuel consumption will be 99% same. But the cost of the bus for one person will be different. Okay, if that bus is taking 10,000 ka diesel, okay, so 10,000 divided by 10 people will be the cost of one person. That means 10,000 divided by 10, 1,000 will be the cost per person. If 30 people are traveling, 10,000 divided by 30, so it is somewhere around 300 to 350 rupees per person. That will be the cost. Okay, just an example, 10,000 तो नहीं लगता, बहुत ज़्यादा लगता है डीजल. So 300 to 350 लगेगा. So when more people are there in a bus, the cost per person is decreasing, right? So when a company is manufacturing items, when a company can manufacture huge items, the cost per item will go on reducing. If the company can manufacture 50,000 components, they'll have a certain cost per product. If the company can manufacture 2 lakh components, okay, the cost per product will be less, go on reducing, because the factory is same, the machine is same. There are certain fixed elements and there are certain variable elements which will which will go up as per the products, but there are certain fixed elements which will remain same. Okay, one more example, there is a shop, a bakery shop hai. That bakery shop is been on a rent, उसको suppose 5,000 rupees है per month rent, एक small bakery shop है. If that bakery shop is able to sell 10 cakes in a day, still at the end of the month he is supposed to pay 5,000 as the rent. If that bakery shop is able to sell 20 cakes in a day, still at the end of the month he is supposed to pay 5,000 as the rent. So that 5,000 as the rent is fixed irrespective of how many cakes he is selling, whether he is closing the bakery for 1 or 2 days or opening, or kept open the bakery throughout the month. So the cost the same hai. So there are certain fixed costs which will, that cost will reduce per product, okay, when I'm selling more product or when I'm manufacturing more product. So when that is happening, when I'm able to manufacture more products, okay, then that is the concept which is called as economies of scale. I'm doing a large scale of production, so because of that I'm uh, having economies. इकोनॉमी करके रहता है स्कूटी पे, इट इज रिटन इकोनॉमी करके, from 30 to 50. If I'm driving from between 30 to 50 range, that I'm driving economically. In cars you have, if you're driving on fourth gear at 40 speed, you are driving economically. That means the fuel consumption is not much. So your per kilometer rate is very low. So when company is manufacturing huge quantity, the company is having economies of scale. Okay, I hope this made you understand. Okay, so this economies of scale is quite important when you are manufacturing or someone else is manufacturing. Okay, if you have the requirement, you can manufacture. Sales hai tumhara, if you can manufacture like that, then it is very good, you can cut down the costs. Okay, then second is agency cost. Agency cost क्या है? When I am manufacturing, ठीक है, मेरे घर का ही है मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, तो इफ आई एम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, माय वर्कर्स डोंट हैव एनी, मतलब दे डोंट हैव एनी प्रेशर कि नहीं नहीं जल्दी मैन्युफैक्चर करना है नहीं तो बिजनेस जाएगा. अरे, they are already working, they are lazy, they have become lazy by doing the same thing all year long, and I'm not putting much pressure on them. Okay, I'm not able to put, because if they leave I'm not able to get different workers. ठीक है, there are shortage of skilled labors, so I cannot get them. So वो जो costs है which is involved because of the production in house, that cost which I could have reduced if I could have outsourced. If I could have outsourced that the same thing, my cost would have been less. But now as I am making that, because I have identified it as a core process, अभी मेरा core process है तो मेरे को करना है. Okay, so if I have to do my core process, and I could have reduced that thing if I could have outsourced it, that cost which is incurring to me, that is agency cost. ठीक है, मतलब cost ये I'll explain it in detail in the next slides. Okay, because I'll do this transaction cost. ठीक है, agency cost में क्या था कि when I can outsource it, but I'm not outsourcing it because I have found that this is my core process. So my core process, I am doing it, I am manufacturing it. So because of I am manufacturing, the cost is quite high. ठीक है, बाहर सस्ते में बन के मिल सकता था, but I have not given it बाहर, I have not outsourced it, I have manufacturing my on my own. So the extra cost which I'm incurring is my agency cost. But if I give it outside, and if I'm not able to handle him, I'm not able to control him, वो बोलता है नहीं नहीं 5 days में नहीं, I'll take 10 days to manufacture. So I'll be bearing some losses. I'll be bearing some costs. I'm not able to control him, not able to tell him to manufacture within 5 days. I don't have any other supplier who can supply me those products. Only he is the sole supplier. Now I have stopped manufacturing because I have outsourced it. So because of that loss of control, that cost will be called as a transaction cost. Okay, I'll do one by one in detail. Okay, economies of scale ये important क्यों है? Okay, when okay, first point, it is written higher volume allows a firm. This is the last thing, okay, we are doing for today. The, okay, the economies of scale, agency, and transaction cost. Okay, these three things will do, and we'll wind up for the day. Okay, so okay, give me my way. Like every time I'll try to complete it just before 10:15. Okay, economies of scale में higher volume allows a firm to spread its fixed cost over a large volume of operations. Okay, the fixed cost जो है इधर, it will be spread over a large volume of operations. That is, large volume of products I'll manufacture. The fixed cost divided by number of products, I'll have huge volume. Okay, so one example can be yeah, that same example. Okay, that bus from Belgaum to Bangalore, it is taking 10 passengers. Okay, so better I'll book those 10 passengers into some another travels where already 20 people are traveling, so that I can reduce the rate of the tickets for those 10 passengers. Okay, so that can be done. And one more thing, a higher volume allows a firm to choose more efficient technologies. Okay, now if I'm having a huge volume of maybe production, then I can go for more better technology. Okay, and just for us, not for example, not for the exams. Okay, if you are being told to cook rice, ठीक है, चावल बनाने के लिए बोले. Okay, if you have been told to cook rice and you have a small pot, yes, you have a small vessel in which you can cook that rice. Now that small vessel, you have kept it on the gas, you have poured rice and water into that, and you have switched on the gas. After you make it, you need to empty that vessel, and you need to put again rice on that vessel, because your pot is small and you are supposed to cook the double the quantity of that vessel. So you need to require two times you need to put that vessel on the gas. Okay, but suppose you have a bigger vessel, you can only put that vessel once, and the rice will be ready. Okay, in this case, I am having a technology of a bigger vessel. Okay, not for exam. Okay, this example. If I'm having a bigger vessel, I can easily manufacture more quantity of rice. So if I'm getting orders that okay, itna rice चाहिए, बहुत rice चाहिए. If I'm getting orders for more quantity of rice, then I'll go out and buy a much bigger vessel so that I can cook all the rice at a time. But if I'm getting smaller orders, I'll not buy a bigger vessel. I'll be satisfied with the smaller one. Okay, थोड़ा सा ही order है, छोटे बर्तन में बन जाएगा. Okay, like that. If I'm getting more orders, I'll buy a bigger vessel. Okay, and I'll make it. So if I am getting higher volumes of orders, then I'll invest more in efficient technologies. Okay, if I'm getting orders of few cars a day, then I'll not go for CNC machine. My workers can assemble it. But if I'm getting orders of too many cars, my company has grown in such a way that I am getting too many orders throughout the world, then I'll invest more in CNC machine. They'll fix robotic arms will fix my vehicle, and I'll deliver the car immediately, like Toyota does in 16 minutes. Okay, so I'll keep on investing in technologies if I'm getting huge orders. Okay, so ये लास्ट वन है, नहीं लास्ट वन है, सेकंड लास्ट वन है, pooling of buffer capacities and inventories. Okay, suppose if I am manufacturing as a company, I have not outsourced it, then I need to keep some inventory, some backup inventory, some backup capacity should be there to meet the uncertain demand. कुछ होना नहीं चाहिए करके I need to keep something. with my own. So that will be a problem. Suppose if I give it to an outsourced firm, which Maruti has done. Maruti का मानेसर गुड़गांव area में there is a plant. Okay, Manesar say the which the Maruti car is moving out when it is made, and it is being shipped to maybe to Mumbai or to Bangalore. वहाँ से कार आ रहा है ट्रक में डाल के. That truck which is bringing the car, okay, that truck transportation का जो भी है, that transportation is been outsourced to some another company. Okay, Maruti is not owning that truck. Maruti is manufacturing the car, keeping it in the warehouse. That the logistics part is being outsourced to some another company. So that company is bringing its truck, loading all the Maruti cars and bringing those cars from Manesar, from Gurgaon to Bangalore. Okay, that same company who has delivered the cars to the Bangalore plant or the Bangalore showroom, that same truck is going to Kurlon manufacturing unit in Bangalore. And Kurlon के जो mattresses है, okay, the mattresses which the Kurlon is manufacturing, they are loading those mattresses into that same truck which bought car from Gurgaon, and that same truck is going to Gurgaon taking those mattresses. So you understand, the company is making profit in that truck company. So that truck company is the truck is not going empty to Gurgaon to take the second consignment of Maruti cars. It is going with the mattresses, and it is emptying the mattresses, unloading the mattresses in Gurgaon, and loading the cars in Gurgaon, and coming back to Bangalore. And this process is continuing. So that transportation company, the truck is not going empty in either way. So that truck company can give a discount to even to Maruti and to Kurlon both, because khali nahi ja raha hai. It is taking only one way fees. Okay, so that is the thing which we can achieve if we have outsourced them. So we don't need to keep any inventory or buffer capacities when we are outsourcing our truck. वो truck को खड़ा रखना नहीं पड़ेगा. Whenever our manufacturing is done, we'll just call that manufacturing company and the truck will come unload it. Okay, so that can be done. And finally, the learning curve. Learning curve is when we are outsourcing something to someone, they will have certain skills and certain kind of technologies uh, they could use in manufacturing our components, which we can learn from them. Okay, or we could educate them how to manufacture, and together we can solve much more, and we can do much more reduction in the cost. Okay, so if we do economies of scale, so economies of scale is ये जो first point है entire thing. This is analyzing whether even after recognizing our core process, whether our core process also can be outsourced. Because of economies of scale, we could have lesser cost. Okay, if we outsource it, that is being deciding. We are deciding here. Economies of scale के benefits है. If I am able to get those benefits, then I might outsource my core process as well. Agency costs. Okay, last two. Okay, agency cost क्या है? It is producing in-house causes agency cost. मतलब, okay, what is this? A 5-star chocolates. Okay, it is of which company? It's of Cadbury. ठीक है, इधर लिखा है Cadbury 5-star है. Cadbury also owns this Bonvita. Okay, it's a health drink. Again, इसमें 5-star magic लिखा है. That means some of the products of 5-star have been mixed in this health drink Bonvita में. Now, if suppose 5-star is not doing good in the market, क्या बकवास chocolate है? Who will eat this? I don't like this chocolate. So if that is happening, then no one will buy my Bonvita also. So now the the company is same, but the manufacturer will be different. One factory will be there, or one company will be there totally separated. It will manufacture 5-star. Another company is manufacturing Bonvita, but the factory is manufacturing Bonvita, but both the products has been owned by Cadbury. Okay, now it is very difficult for Bonvita to tell कि हम लोग को 5-star नहीं चाहिए, तुम लोग का चॉकलेट नहीं चाहिए, हम लोग चॉकलेट बार से मंगाते हैं. It is very difficult for that. for Bonvita. So Bonvita had to adjust with 5 star if they want a chocolate flavor health drink. So when this is happening, the Bonvita company or the Cadbury company who is manufacturing Bonvita had to bear the cost that we need to take it from 5 star. Zabardasti ka. Okay, better we could have taken from someone else, but the Cadbury company cannot make 5 star unhappy. So the chocolate is manufactured in house, and that chocolate itself has been put into Bonvita. Okay, Bonvita is feeling okay, we could have outsourced that chocolate manufacturing someone else, because that someone else is manufacturing chocolate very efficiently than 5 star. Okay, which is our own company's brand. So we could have outsourced that chocolate manufacturing, and that company would have given us the chocolates which we can put it into health drink. So the cost that we are incurring, because 5 star is our own company's brand, the cost is called as the agency cost. ठीक है, we could have अभी 5 स्टार फ्री में तो नहीं दे रहा है चॉकलेट्स, इट इज ऑल्सो चार्जिंग समथिंग टू बोर्नविटा हेल्थ ड्रिंक. ये दोनों डिफरेंट फैक्ट्री से है. So it is charging high. 5 star, it is charging high, plus it is not tasting much well. Okay, and the 5 star doesn't get liked by many people in the market, so Bonvita 5 star भी नहीं sell हो रहा है, ऐसा हो रहा है. So this is what the agency cost the Bonvita company is incurring. If they could have outsourced that chocolate manufacturing to someone else, वो लोग they could have given them tasty chocolates at a lesser cost maybe, and the Bonvita could have sold much better. So the cost which is incurring by Bonvita is again the agency cost which is they're incurring because they are doing it in house. Okay, hope you understood this. Okay, and the last thing of today, the transaction costs. Okay, transaction cost may, okay, first of all, transaction cost is um, when I'm giving something or when I'm outsourcing something to some other company. Okay, and I'm not able to control that, or they to negotiate the price or to deal with that company. The cost which is required is the transaction cost. Okay, इसमें दो ही है, agency cost and transaction cost. Agency cost is the cost which is incurred by us because we are manufacturing it and not outsourcing it, is the agency cost. Transaction cost is we are not manufacturing it, we are giving it to someone else to manufacture. So for dealing with that person, for negotiating with that person, for timely supply from that person, एवरीथिंग वो जो थर्ड पार्टी जो कर रहा है उसके साथ जो डीलिंग्स है, एवरीथिंग विल बी कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू आवर ट्रांजैक्शन कॉस्ट. To search and information cost, which is the best supplier, who can supply me, who has the technology to produce what I need. Okay, this all will come under search and information cost. Bargaining and contracting cost. Okay, bargaining and contracting cost. What उससे cost क्या हो रहा है? What is the negotiation? What is the contracting cost कितना है? Everything, all those things. Policing and enforcement uh, cost incurred because of loss of control. ये जो cost which is we are incurring because we are trying to control that firm, that contributes to our transaction costs. Okay, ये सब जो third party को we are handling. So this is what the transaction costs are. Okay, any doubts? Students, I completed early today, like always. Okay, we started this. We started from here. What is there in this module? Okay, then we talked about this Netflix. Okay, it will not look nice like this. We talked about Netflix. What happened? Okay. The excellence in the supply chain and ready to adopt to new technology, ready to adopt to new things which is coming in the market. Failure to adopt to that new technology, Blockbuster went out of the market and Netflix remained in the market. Netflix is now basically not providing CDs, they are providing stories to you. Okay, Netflix has its Netflix originals. Nowadays, YouTube originals also has come. Okay, so because of that, Blockbuster went out of the market and these two are there in the market. Then later on, talked about Nike, where the manufacturing and franchise is outsourced and designing and brand management is in-house. Okay, so a company is deciding whether to make the product or whether to buy it from someone else. And Ford Motors, which had vertically integrated firm, सब कुछ खुद ही करते थे. They used to do everything by themselves. Okay, then the different companies where they started outsourcing, and finally the Google Maps, which has outsourced the information to all the users. They are not buying it; they're getting it free of cost, all the information from the users, and they are using it into their softwares. Okay, so what can be outsourced, what we need to manufacture, we should first of all need to identify that. तो वो होता है हम लोग का core process. So what is our core process? Like one of the example, Xbox, which is manufactured by Microsoft. Microsoft only concentrate on the software part of it. Hardware part of it is being given to the Flextronic, because Microsoft is good at manufacturing softwares. And how we differentiate business process route, Nike will have a good customer focus more on customer relationship and brand management. HP will focus more on product innovation, and supply chain management will be more. Walmart will be more focusing on that, or Amazon will be focusing more on that. Then we had product architecture. We'll divide the product into many parts, and then we will decide what we can give it for outsourcing. What we will do. Okay, so this was about the identifying of the core processes. कि exactly हम लोग क्या करें and what we should outsource. And then we came what we are doing in house, whether it is a core process or not, whether we can have economies of scale. If we can have economies of scale, then our per product cost will be less. So it is better to outsource. Okay, and if there is agency cost involved, that means if we are producing in-house, then if it is costly, then then it is called as an agency cost, and we should try to give it to someone else. And if we give it to someone else, and because of that we are losing controls, or we are not able to negotiate with him properly, then we will have the transaction costs. So in economies of scale in detail, and agency costs and transaction costs. Okay. So uh, that's it for today. Okay, maybe next class we'll able to complete this module. Yeah, let's see. Any doubts, or shall we wind up? Okay, yes, no, maybe. Okay, okay, thank you then everyone. Okay, see you on Friday. Oh, sorry, on yes, thank you, Vibha. So see you on, sorry, Wednesday. Okay, thank you, Prajit. Chalo, take care everyone. Happy weekend. Anyways, weekend ही चल रहा है.